Welcome back, America. Today, we memorialize the second anniversary of one of the most heinous events in world history, the October 7th, 2023 massacres in Israel committed by Hamas and its Iran backers. We can never forget what happened today. We say that about 9/11. We can't forget what happened on October 7th. Americans and Israelis alike killed with unbelievable brutality, and much of the media today tries to sweep that under the rug. Our next guest is going to remind us of not only the terrible atrocities that day, but the great heroism. Nadav Rudiev is the son of Lior Rudiev, a hero from October 7th. He rushed out to defend his community on that horrific day. Lior was killed as he tried to protect another hostage, and Nadav is joining us now to remind us of that extraordinary day. Nadav, first, a heartfelt thank you for what your father did for the world, but he did that moment, and for all that your family's been through. We mourn with you again today. I know 2 years is very recent. Tell us what you went through today, what you were thinking as people remembered the great sacrifices your father made that day.
First of all, thank you very much, John, for the opportunity to speak to the American people and remind them what happened 2 years ago and still going on this day. So my dad, for over 40 years, volunteered as a first responder team personnel of Kibbutz Nir Yitzchak, where I was born and raised. And on the morning of October 7th, like many times before, whenever an emergency occurred, he went outside and not knowing where and what's going to happen. And he fought for many, many hours with his teammates against dozens of terrorists that invaded the kibbutz. And unfortunately, he was kidnapped. And for over 7 months, we didn't know what came about him. And the day after Holocaust Day in Israel on May 7th, we got the official notice that unfortunately he was killed in battle and his body had been taken hostage. So for us this day, after 2 years of mourning my dad, but not being able to have a grave to mourn him properly, has been difficult. But at the same time, my dad went out that morning to save lives, and that's what we're trying to do now, 2 years later. We still have 48 hostages. 20 of them are still surviving in captivity, and they need to be released as soon as possible.
Mm. I know President Trump, when he came into office, he felt a mandate to make sure that this conflict comes to an end and to bring the hostages home. He's been successful in a number of cases, and I know that's got to be bittersweet for you to see that other people, they have their family returning, but you won't have that with your dad. Tell us what that's like for you.
Well, of course, I miss my dad every day, and I just want to hug him again and say whatever I didn't say before. But at the same time, it's bittersweet because there are people that are surviving there and they're held in unimaginable conditions, and they need to be rescued as soon as possible. My dad went out to save lives. I can only advocate for that and to honor him by fighting, first of all, to bring them all back. And then we need to bring him and the remaining deceased hostages so we can bury them and give them the respect they deserve, because they cannot stay in this evil land and be thrown around like they were nothing. Unfortunately, he was taken as a prize by Hamas terrorists. So for us, he did what he knew that he needed to do, and I'm the proud son of my dad, and he was a hero. And it is bittersweet, but at the same time, we knew that he wasn't in his nature not to do exactly what he did. So for us to be advocating as he acted in his life is the most important thing we can do today, and continue the fight until they're all home.
Yeah, it's so important. Let me just ask you, are you optimistic for the region that maybe what's underway now with Qatar and Israel talking together, Saudi Arabia going closer to Israel, that there's a coalition of the willing that could eventually eradicate the hate of Hamas from Gaza and create a more stable situation? Are you optimistic about it, or are you worried?
Well, optimistic is not the right word I would use, because I've been let down and disappointed for many times in the past 2 years. So I'm remaining hopeful, but at the same time staying very grounded and continue what I'm doing with advocating for their release until they're all home. It is very different. The times we are right now with Trump's 20 points peace deal is something that is, if it will be signed and will happen, is a critical historic moment that can change the face of the Middle East and of the state of Israel and its Arab countries' neighbors. So for us, being optimistic is, for me personally, being optimistic is a bit of a problematic word, but trying to remain hopeful, but still very, very connected to reality that can change in any moment. And until the deal isn't signed, we don't have the privilege to stop.
Yeah, well, one thing we know for sure, your dad contributed to whatever this outcome is going to be, whatever positive thing lies ahead. Your dad contributed, and he contributed in the ultimate way. We honor your whole family, Nadav, on this day. We mourn alongside you, but thank you for joining us and giving us a little glimpse of the extraordinary man your dad was. It's great to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much for your time, and for everyone watching, please continue advocating for their release and the war to end, because the suffering has to end.
Amen for that. We agree with that so much. All right, folks. Well, we're going to stay on this topic, October 7th, for another block. The reaction we've seen here inside the United States has been pretty remarkable today. We'll have all that right after the break.